So the other day, your guy,
Oh, my guy.
LeBron.
Everybody else said it, but my guy.
LeBron Raymond James Sr. LeBron Raymond James Sr. was out here golfing with those guys, those billionaires, and he was flapping his gums, and he got a lot of people upset.
Only reason a lot of people got upset because he said it, and we talked about this before. People said it before. People said it about a lot of cities before. Hell, he said it about Cleveland. He's like, I couldn't get anybody to come to Cleveland. That's why I had to go to Miami. So we know certain cities.
No, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. He did not say, hey, you know what? I couldn't get nobody to come to Cleveland. Why don't we move them to Cincinnati? He didn't say that.
But he could have stayed in Cleveland. He was like, I couldn't get anybody to come to Cleveland, so I went to Miami. And he said it in the post-game. He was like, he's like, I don't like playing in Cleveland. I'm from there. He's like, I don't like playing at home, and I'm from there. He said it in another post-game.
Yes, but he didn't tell them to go to Columbus.
But he also didn't say, I don't want to. Well, listen, you gotta go to Memphis because that's the Western Conference team. So he probably has to play them more than he plays in Cleveland. So he probably was like, moving to Nashville. And I was like, all right, let me check out something. Let me just kind of look into something. I was like, all right. How many 5-star hotels are in the Memphis, Tennessee area?
One.
I looked it up. According to AI, I got a 4-star or 4-diamond property, and I think that's the Peabody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked up, all right, how many are in?
I think that's proving his point, Mike. Amari Stoudemire didn't. Amari Stoudemire, that is.
Nashville has an abundance of 5-star hotels. And I'm just thinking about the players. I'm not thinking about the fans coming to games. I'm thinking like NBA players are probably used to, this king level treatment everywhere they travel, private, leg room on every plane, food, LeBron with his cookies and all that, everything. But they just like a little bit more luxury.
I get that.
Memphis isn't providing that, or like I talked about this, like I've gone to games in Philly. The Philly, basically, if you take, it's like an intersection. You got the Citizens Bank Park, the Link, and then you have the Wells Fargo Center where the Sixers and the
Flyers
play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That entire area is policed heavily during the games. The traffic is policed. You can get right on and off the interstate. The hotels in the area are really nice, so the teams can get in and out. Philly's hard to drive in, but that particular location offers you just structure, organization, and security. Maybe the Memphis area doesn't provide that. Maybe it's not built for these level of events or to the standard that these NBA players deem.
Mr. Logical, didn't the NBA and the Grizzlies know that before they moved to Memphis?
I'm pretty sure they did, but places get worse.
No, but the point is, it's like, if that's the case, then they should have never went to Memphis in the first place. You know what I mean? Second of all,
it wasn't that bad. Maybe it was all right.
Second of all, right. I know that Nashville is booming right now. It's growing. They got 3 professional teams.
Nashville started booming later because a lot of country music stars talked about how Nashville used to be this kind of place, and over the last 10 years or so, it's boomed. So it might have been on par with Memphis until the boom occurred, and that was like, whoa, it's really popular in Nashville. You got these teams, you got the hockey team, you got the football team. Let's start the basketball team over there so we can enjoy.
No, but this is the thing, though. There's a couple of things going on here. You know what I'm saying? I'll take your word for it, Rez. There's a couple of things going on here, though. You have the name Mr. Logical.
Correct.
You like to use logic-based arguments.
Correct.
I do too, damn it. So Jimmy Butler came out here talking about how dangerous Memphis is, right? As if we don't have NBA teams in the following cities: Detroit, Cleveland, Indianapolis. Why do I pick those three? Because those three are top 10 in homicides. You know what I'm saying? So how about that? You know what I'm saying? Then, if I just wanted to flip the lid and go to another sport for just a quick second, right? St. Louis got a baseball team, and everybody talking about, they should have a football team. The Rams shouldn't have left. St. Louis is the most dangerous team in these here United States. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, that's the white people's go-to when they want to talk bad about black people. And guess what? Chicago got teams up the ass.
But Chicago's not even top 50 in violent cities in America.
I agree, but I'm just making a point. That's what they say. You know what I'm saying? But to get back serious for a second. So look, this is a cultural problem because two people, right? You know what I'm saying? We always talk about this. Two people, LeBron James and Sean Carter. Those two dudes are aware of everything that comes out of their mouth at all times. You know what I'm saying? They are perfectly crafted to speak in front of cameras because they don't say anything. Period. Right? So I guess now LeBron is in his old man stage. And yes, I know LeBron brought up Cream City as well. You know what I'm saying? I know he brought up Cream City as well. He don't like to go to Milwaukee either. You know what I'm saying? I know he did. But then I thought about it. What do Memphis and Milwaukee have in common? Besides the fact that they start with M, they got a shit ton of black people. And now you're talking about moving this team out of this city, historical city, unfortunately, where Martin Luther King was killed and everything. Anniversary just passed. But, and taking them to Fox News Central and putting them in the middle of a city where people like Dave Portnoy and his ilk run around. Now, granted, now from a business standpoint,
5-star hotel, like I think that's all.
No, for real. Memphis has had 25 years to build a hotel or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they've had 25 years to rectify these wrongs, if you will. So I'm not absolving the city of Memphis. Oh, don't do that, Riz. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to absolve the city of Memphis for their responsibilities. But one of the reasons that the Grizzlies, and this is just me, this is just me speculating. This is just me speculating here. One of the reasons that the Grizzlies chose Memphis is because they saw how Memphis supports and treats the Tigers. The Memphis Tigers, that is. This is basketball central. You ain't getting that in Nashville. Now, from a business standpoint, yes, Nashville is probably the correct move. This is the other key to this. So, people keep saying, keep the same energy. All these other players have been saying this, and nobody cared until LeBron said it. Partially true, because I did a 2-5 daily about this very subject after Jimmy Butler made his comments. But this is the problem. LeBron James carries influence. LeBron James, like I said, he is very aware of what he says, when he says it, who he says it to, and who's going to absorb it. So what that tells me, and let me put on my conspiracy hat for a second. What that tells me is the league might be setting us up for the Grizzlies to move to Nashville. Because the contract that Memphis has with their arena runs out in 2029. So now we got a few years to shit on Memphis. And now we get to put all these black people out of jobs.
Listen, first of all, it's not that many people out there getting hired on these organizations. And there's white people that work in these cities too. And the black people still work in these games at
Memphis is but Memphis is very unique in a Detroit kind of way. 63% black. You don't see that very often.
Yes. And it also has to factor in, I am curating a product here. And if the environment is detrimental to my product, I might have to move. And we talk about these cities and the crime rate, and Rez brought it up. Chicago gets a bad rap. Chicago
It does.
is a city that people would like.
It just has a lot of people. There's going to be crime. They have a lot of people.
It was like a Fox News, Newsmax talking point. But Albuquerque, New Mexico, is probably one of the most dangerous cities in America, but people don't know that. Along with Santa Fe, New Mexico, and just different cities out west per capita are probably the most dangerous, and a lot of cities down south. There's like 2 or 3 cities in Alabama that are like leaps and bounds ahead of Chicago, Milwaukee, even Memphis for that matter. But as far as a basketball entity, like I said, I talked about Philly. The security and the control and the area where they play basketball, football, and baseball in Philly is white people jogging at 10 o'clock at night. That's where the stadium is. It's a very safe area, fresh over the border from the Delaware. Like you cross the bridge, everything's right there. So police in that area is just fine. I'm not sure what a Memphis arena is, and I'm not sure what the behavior is on. I know like John Morant and some of his teammates, I don't know if that was in Indiana or if these guys were in Memphis pointing the guns at the cars. But if Nashville is booming,
it is.
Then why not? If I'm a player, it's like, yo, I want to go. Like we talk about players not want to go to Salt Lake City because it's boring. If you think Memphis in the area around the stadium,
but Salt Lake got money at least.
Yeah, like they have that, but they have good hotels. But players,
and then the other part of that, though, and I don't want to get too political here. The other part of that is, Memphis is a very underfunded city, as most urban cities are. And guess who makes the decisions on what money Memphis gets? That would be Nashville. So when you're LeBron and you say these type of things, and I'm not going to say he's out of his depth because he was just speaking off the cuff. He didn't have time to think about it, so I'm not going to criticize him from that standpoint. But it's just you gotta recognize some of these things. And Draymond Green put this statement out there about if they move to Nashville, there is they'll waive the fee because it's within the same state. That is not a thing. Like it could be, but that's not a rule that is officially on the books right now. And then lastly, what I'll say to wrap this up, to the people that I was talking to a couple of minutes ago that said people didn't care until LeBron spoke, let me correct you. You didn't care until LeBron spoke. Because we talk about basketball all the time as a country, as a civilization, if you will. We talk about basketball all the time. You only listen when it involves LeBron. That's not on me. You know what I'm saying? I talked about it when Jimmy Butler said it. I talked about it when KD said it. He should be more concerned with brushing his hair than whatever's going on in Memphis. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear none of this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless... Because LeBron is at the point
that bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
It have to be to the point it was like, yo, because if you're an NBA player,
talk to Adam Silver about it.
You are treating these road trips like a little mini vacation. You get there on a Friday night, you game Saturday night, you get a little walkthrough, you go to a nice hotel, you maybe hit a nice couple of nice restaurants.
Or a town that they're in for maybe a day or two.
Yeah, so like if I'm going to this town and I go there a couple times a year, and every time I go there, it's like
you go there, like when he was in the East, he went to Memphis once a year.
Yeah, but now in the West, maybe he goes a couple times. He's probably like, you know what? I don't want to go.
Yeah, but don't nobody give a fuck about Oklahoma City and their haunted hotels.
Oklahoma City is in the middle of nowhere. I know a lot of people in the military that get stationed out there. They love it. They're like, oh, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yep, and that's exactly what it is. Like they're starting to talk now, so that around 2028, when we start to hear rumblings, we can't go. These are moving.
The Oakland A's did the same thing, and so did the Raiders when they were going to Vegas. I want to go.
Yes, but the Oakland A's didn't. But the Oakland A's didn't have support either. You know what I mean? Like their 27,000 seat stadium was getting 8,000 fans.
Yeah, but
Memphis is still in their arena.
Yeah, but the Oakland A's organization was rejecting every single plan that the Oakland City Council and all the developers were giving them. The leadership was rejecting every plan just so they could go to Vegas. So this is not uncommon. It's not a black and white thing. It's not a black athlete-led sport. It's a money thing. It's
those situations
money being made by Memphis.
Money is always going to be.
It's always key. Nashville is where the money is. You have
money is going to be one. This is the difference.
You have a soccer team.
This is the difference. Money is always going to be the deciding factor, right? So, but this is the thing. So Luke Cornett, a couple of weeks ago, he came out and made the comments about Magic City, right, about how it was demeaning to the women. We don't need to celebrate that, so on and so forth. That's his right as a citizen to do that, right? What you won't see is somebody like Con Knipple, talk about, hey, why don't we move Sacramento to San Jose? You ain't going to see that happen because they stay on code. Like that's the thing. LeBron can feel the way that he feels, and a lot of people are going to agree with him, obviously. But some things, you got to recognize, one, who you are, your audience, because you can't tell me, as somebody that is as media savvy as he is, he didn't know people were going to react to this.
Well, that's the thing.
Go talk to Adam Silver.
They asked him based off of other players' things, and he was like, "Yeah, hell no, no one likes playing in Memphis." He was like, "Yeah." Then he said, "Hell,
and that would have been fine. And that would have been fine if that was all he said."
But just
when you add the move this team part,
profit from the move to Nashville.
You don't know that.
I see if he has some.
You don't know that.
And if he does, he'll get it anyway.
How many years? How many years LeBron? How many more years you think LeBron gonna play? One. So that puts him out of the league at 2027. Think about what I just said a few minutes ago. Memphis's contract with their arena is up in 2029.
And what's wrong? And if he wants to get involved with it financially, that's fine. But that doesn't take away from his opinion that he doesn't like Memphis.
Cool.
So he's
yeah. He also a snake that don't like his hometown. Why Akron athletics look like this? Do better, LeBron. How about you take care of your own city?
Akron. He has Akron.
Fuck that. Fuck that. He's the kid from Akron. Ain't that what he called himself?
It's not his job.
It ain't his job.
The GM.
It ain't his job.
NBA president. It's not his job to be the NBA commissioner. It's not his job to be the head coach of the Lakers. It's not his job to be the broadcaster of ESPN.
Well, you know what, then?
It's not his job.
You know what? On that note, how about this?
My dad was in Memphis and saw a drive-by shooting in broad daylight.
I'm from Baltimore and I saw drive-by shooters. Look, check this out. I got a message from LeBron James. How about this? Shut up and dribble. How about that? Shut up and dribble.
The city is shit. It sucks, but they gotta fucking figure it out. You don't get to keep profiting if your city is shit. Fix your shit. Fix it.
Nobody has a problem with that.
So in the meantime, move them 3 hours east to Nashville.
Nobody has a problem with that. I'm just saying, that man need to be dribbling because he out here looking like Jalen Brown half the time. You know what I'm saying?
That's his right. It's not his job to do everybody else's goddamn job for them.
You know what I'm saying? Well, go talk to the people. Go talk to the people that can do something about it then. Go talk to the NBA PA. Go talk to Adam Silver. Don't go talking to the white boys on TV. Don't be talking to the white boys on TV. Go to the office. Go to New York. Go to the headquarters. Go anywhere in front of these white men.
Because if he did that, if he went up to the NBA and said, let's move it, y'all be mad about that. Like, why is this? You think it's his responsibility to make sure that Memphis moves?
No, because you know what? I don't have a problem with. Now, see, you done did it now. I don't have a problem with an employee, proper English, an employee having a problem with their working conditions, and they go to their employer or their manager or whoever it may be, and they say, hey, this city is a hazard to us. Like, we need to do something about this city. or whatever the case. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem when there's this city that is impoverished, underfunded, and all this other shit, and you sitting around with a bunch of billionaires that can't relate to that shit, and you're like, take our shit and put it where you can get some enjoyment out of it. That's what I don't like.
And I understand that piece, but once again, it's not incumbent upon him to remedy the problems of Memphis. That's what I'm saying. It's like he can feel his opinion.
That's Lou Ritchie.
His opinion about Memphis isn't an indictment on him, because it's not his job or his responsibility to resolve the issues of Memphis. He offered his opinion on where he thinks he would like to play basketball. That's his job.
How about this, LeBron? You like playing basketball in the NBA. How about that?
Well, don't listen. Memphis people have leadership. They have city council.
And they need to do better.
They have voters. They need to do better. He just doesn't want to.
You remember, I did say that at the start of this conversation. They had 25 years to get it right. So I'm not trying to
acknowledge it. They didn't get it right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, of course,
just work to get right. Maybe
and of course, you know, there's
developing it.
And then, of course, there's that money part right now, right? Because right now, Memphis is the second smallest market in the league to New Orleans. You know, number 48, in fact. You know, saying Nashville, number 29. So I mean, it's a win all the way around. You know what I mean? But just dribble the ball, LeBron. So look,
you sound like the source.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything else makes sense.
I don't care about the source.